I'm walking down the street.
I do want to say to Doni and many of you in this room that over a very long career in this city, all of you have helped me and my colleagues tell the truth and to try to tell.
I may not look like you and you me, but
Put my hat up.
I'm South Carolina, so I just...
What does this event mean to you, Miss Peggy Moss?
Oh, my heart,
Happy 20th anniversary.
my heart is about loving up on my sisters. Do you know what it feels like to have your sisters in the room? Done.
And dare to be different and unique. I'm gonna be the best me I can be by letting His glory shine through. I am beautiful, I am blessed, but not just what you see in the flesh. I'm free from people, free from myself. There's a
The doctor lived next door to the janitor to the reverend and the lawyer. We were together. Now we get so high and mighty that you create stress for your society because you don't like poor black folks either. That's a health problem. Get yourself together so I can stop being taking care of geriatric people and get back to pediatrics. I thank you, Doni, for all you've done. Let's keep doing it all the more.
letting His glory shine through. Dare to be you, dare to be me, dare to be different and unique. I'm gonna be the best me I can be by letting His glory shine through. And I dare you, I dare you, I dare you to be you.
First name's Doni, last name's Glover. Entered the winning for the long haul, baby. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Gwen, Levi, I'm gonna need you to cut your camera on and stop playing. Good morning, Natasha White. How you doing?
Good morning. I'm doing well. Free. Any day on this side of the dirt is a good day.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Gwen, Levi, fix your camera there. Turn it down.
Hi, Gwen.
Good morning. Hey, Natasha. You've been a busy girl. I got to catch up with you. You know we had you. Yeah. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Praise the Lord, good sisters. Praise the Lord.
Yes.
That's right.
yes.
All the time.
God is good. Natasha, why don't you take a moment and tell them who you are?
My name is Natasha White. I'm a formerly incarcerated survivor of solitary confinement and unlock the boxes serial solitary slayer.
Did you say solitary confinement?
I said I'm a survivor of solitary confinement and I am unlock the boxes serial solitary slayer.
Wow. Okay. What an introduction. Gwen Levi, tell them who you are.
Gwen Levi, formerly incarcerated, also federal and state systems, advocating for the women that I left behind all over in every avenue that I can present myself and tell my story that might help someone else not go through what I went through.
All right. And we have joining us for whatever reason, her camera's not working. Nicole Mundell.
Hey, Nicole.
Yes, how y'all doing?
Well,
We'd be better if we could see you. I mean,
you on screen today.
Unfortunately, I can't be on screen. I apologize for that.
what's happening with you, Nicole?
We just want to make sure we lift up our favorite Black media source, Doni Glover, and just thank you for being committed to Black media, right? It is far few in between that we have Black media who's willing to talk about and lift up the issues of people in America, Black America. And so, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm so super. Let me make sure my volume is down. Yeah, so I wanted to, I was on last week and I think 2 weeks ago, no more than 2 weeks ago, had a great conversation with Doni about all things, right? But more importantly, we have Out for Justice is, a nonprofit. And Doni, make sure you give me a cue to cut off because I'm a big talker. So,
these ladies. Well, you keep talking. I'm gonna fill up my coffee cup.
Okay. Yeah. So Out for Justice is a grassroots-based org led by formerly and currently incarcerated people. Over the last decade in Maryland, we have been leading on and have been very consistent on work around policy reform and educating and engaging our reentry community and those on the inside about the laws and the policies that are introduced, are repealed, and are considered in the state of Maryland. The unique thing about Out for Justice is we dive deep into our policy work, right? So we are actively right now writing bills, right? And often that comes with a small group of people willing to get on Google Docs and begin to draft the policy that folks will be coming to testify on and coming to rally around. And so that is where we are right now in our policy work. And we know it's a very detailed, tedious type of work that we do in drafting, policy and writing policy and going back and forth with attorneys at the in the legislature about what these policies should look like. With some of our members, Mr. Freeman, he works at Ed Trust in DC now, but started at Out for Justice. One of our consultants, Chris Dews, and just many of our partners, just really really diving deep into, that hard work of drafting a bill, right? So that's what we're doing in terms of ensuring that we're getting the funding that we want around women's pre-release and drafting letters right now to send over to the governor to ensure that he includes our issue in his very limited budget. We got a governor who's saying Maryland doesn't have the money that we thought we had coming into this election. It was coming into this election, our governor raved about having this big surplus, right? And having all this money to go around. Now we're finding that is not true, that the last governor did not leave him a surplus of dollars, right? So going into this legislative session, we really are in conversations with the administration about how women coming home from prison and jail will be included in this year's budget, specifically around the women's pre-release work. And then on our direct service side, we are gearing up for our most innovative approach to gun violence in the city that I've seen, which is our all-night event, where we are strategically placing ourselves in vulnerable neighborhoods in wee hours of the morning, where crime is supposedly happening the most, and we're interrupting that in the most genuine way by providing our community with the host of resources and supports that they normally would get in the day, and we're bringing it in the night. And so we're reaching out to
Nicole, I need to jump in there.
Sure, go.
All right, one, I'm gonna bring you a battery today, okay?
A battery? Oh, thank you. You bringing the battery? Good.
Number two, you said that there was not a surplus. Says who?
Well, what I'm saying is, and thank you for correcting me, right?
No, I'm just raising the question. The last word.
Well, it's not say who, Donnie, is we're seeing it, right? When you get an administration that says, listen,
okay,
we ain't doing too much spending this year.
Said he left a surplus. You're saying he did
and
not.
That's not true.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No.
Let me ask you this. Did O'Malley leave a surplus?
Well, I can't answer that because at the time during O'Malley administration.
No. Did Ehrlich leave a surplus?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yes. So we got.
I don't know. I was not dealing with the budgets at that time. I was a very immature advocate.
Hold tight. When we say somebody did and somebody didn't, it's like, well, whose Kool-Aid are we sipping? But anyway,
well, yeah. Hogan said he was leaving. He left this administration a surplus. Yes, Hogan said it out of his own mouth.
Yes, he did. And I just wanted to share.
But we're finding that to not be true.
Okay, well, I found that the Democrats tend to be big spenders where
I'm not here to get in political jargon
all
about
right,
Democrat
Nicole.
and
Look here,
Republican.
hey,
That's not what my role is.
look here, Nicole. You want to plug your event? Plug your event.
No, I want to engage with you, Johnny, because listen,
I'd like to
as a
do it, but
father,
you're not even on screen, so it's kind of
Can
unfair.
I interrupt? Can I interrupt? Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
sure.
think that you or
I'm not
Nicole,
on screen
that's the
because I'm
topic
not
that we
camera
want to get
ready.
into.
But
Nicole,
okay,
you
let
doing
me
such
try to
powerful
see what
stuff.
my screen can do. I told you I wasn't camera ready.
You
Is
doing such
why I
powerful
wasn't
stuff,
on
Nicole.
screen.
Tell us.
But hold on, let me give you some of this rawness. Okay, there you go.
Okay.
Is that better for you, Johnny?
Okay. But
Good
I mean,
morning.
you come in and you say that the man did not leave a surplus. I just want to know what evidence of that is there.
Do you want me to let Miss Gwen speak and I'll hold my comment, or you want me to respond?
Do your thing.
What do you say?
He said, "Do your thing, Nicole. Come on, tell us what's going on." Okay.
Okay. So when agencies are not able to fulfill their budget goals,
Right.
when advocates, lobbyists are being told that we don't have the money to do what we thought we was going to be able to do, because while a governor, I don't care if he's Democrat or Republican, indicated that there was this surplus, in fact, it's not that. And we need to educate ourselves more about participatory budgeting, right? And where money is and where money isn't. And that we have to limit our expectations as Maryland residents in terms of going after bond bills this year, right? And asking for agencies, asking to ensure that women's pre-release is fully funded. So when we're getting a message down from the top that's saying, we don't have the money and we have to be strict with our monies because we really don't have what somebody said we had,
right?
Then that is my evidence that something is wrong, right? And I don't want to believe that an incoming governor would lie and say that it's not there when it's there. And I don't want to believe that the outgoing governor made that up, right? So somewhere in this shuffle, there was some miscommunication about what was actually here in Maryland and what isn't here in Maryland. We have an office at the Brooke Learman runs the comptroller's office. And if we were allowed to walk through that office today or prior to her coming in, we would have saw a underbudgeted, underfunded agency where they're still using old laptops from the 1990s, okay? Where this agency can't even properly Doni, you know where Doni at? He doing some research. He called us some folks like, hold up, what is the code saying true?
Right. Absolutely, which is good, right? Because
but when you got a comptroller's office
that's good, Nicole,
who can't even pay their attorneys more, you got a comptroller's office who can't even pay their top attorneys more than $60,000 a year. Something ain't right. Right?
Yeah,
when you
got what's not right is the same in all the rest of the states. Corrections has the biggest budget.
Tell it.
Giving all their money to the Department of Corruptions, and now and leave us with nothing to fend for. So I'm happy
we got a comptroller that said out of her own mouth, Maryland has been going after vulnerable taxpayers under the 200,000 mark because we don't have the capacity to go after the big money people, the big corporations, and audit them. So the way the metric system have been working, they have been attacking residents and auditing residents for years who make under the $200,000 tax bracket. That says something about the budget. It says something about what's important in Maryland. It says something about where money is being allocated. And that's all I'm saying. That's my evidence.
Well, I checked the record and there was a surplus. Now, there was, for the projected spending, if you spend a lot of money that you don't have, yeah, you're going to have a deficit. But
I
Hogan
mean,
did.
well, you know, the incoming governor couldn't. He had time to. What
Hogan
they
did
saying
leave
that the
a
incoming
surplus.
governor just spent all the money all that fast?
I'm telling you, there was a surplus. So you
Do
can
you
say,
know what is the new surplus dollar amount that the Hogan administration is saying they
you're
have?
not turning this around on me. You made a statement that the last governor left a deficit, and I told you he left a surplus. But we can
But
debate
and
that
you're
another
saying
time.
that something happened where it was a lot of spending going on.
That typically happens when you have a lot of money and then you don't.
Well, I
So
want to know.
you
I would like to know, like, what the actual surplus is,
So
because
we can bring
like
them on.
Nicole,
But
I
I
have
do
a
it.
bill in coming in this legislative session as well. So I know if we can't get funding for returning citizens, they definitely ain't gonna give us no funding to end prolonged solitary confinement. They could care less what happens in the jail.
Well, this show is about returning citizens more so than the budget. So maybe we
no,
can.
the budget has everything to do with us.
Right.
And that's the
Everything to do with
problem. We
All
don't
right.
talk enough about the budget and a
Yes, we can.
state's budget.
citizens on your screen, Donnie, fight at a legislative level. It has everything to do with us. This is what we do. This is how
Yes.
we.
But you
All
don't
of
know
us,
the
and,
fact.
and,
we
and it
give
does.
back.
We don't have a
But you don't
preview
have the
center
fact.
right now
Hold on,
because
because we can
that's
only
first
one
they
person
claim
can
the
talk at a
money.
time, right? Only one person can talk at a time. The three ladies you have on your screen, Donnie, are freedom fighters. We are freedom fighters because we were once confined, right? So the budget got everything to do with us.
Well, you said that already.
I'm gonna say it as many times as I have to for you, baby.
Go ahead, Miss Gwen. Go ahead, Miss Gwen.
Yes, and
Come on,
the
Miss
budget
Gwen.
determines when and
Since
if
you
we going to
since
get. Yes, the budget's going to determine when and if we get. Donnie, we didn't want this to be a legislative budget issue, but if that's the case, then that's what it'll be, and we all, I think, are capable of talking on that. So yes, the budget. If they had used the budget properly, we would already have a pre-release center. You know, the money that was even allocated has not been spent properly. So yes, we need to know that legislative process. We need to be able to go out into our communities. And what Nicole is saying is that our communities need to be educated on that legislative budgeting process so that we'll know what we can ask for and what we should expect to get and be in line with what is actually the reality of the money. You know, we can't go in there asking for the moon and we know we don't have enough. We don't have a ship that's going to go past the clouds. You know, and I know that sounds silly, but what I'm saying is that we have to be realistic about what's going on. And in order to be realistic, it's about the money. It's about the money. And we can't never forget that.
Yeah, it's
But
definitely
jumping
about the
back
money.
on what we thought this show was going to be about. What we thought this show was going to be about
What
is
I
what we
thought
all
this
are
show was
doing
going to be
today
about was
to
Nicole had an event.
influence the spending of that money, to influence the spending of that money on formerly and incarcerated people. Yes, so that's what we're going to talk about. How are we going to make sure that that money gets spent on the people that we are advocating for?
Nicole wanted to come on to promote an event she had.
So what's the event? Let's go, because I want to go. I want to come. I'm going to
what's the event?
I want to go. I got to talk about it.
Okay, but I got a question for all three of you after she tells us about her event.
Come on, Nicole. What's up?
Okay, thank you so much. In 2017, my board president and I decided that we wanted to be a part of an anti-violent movement that was requesting no shooting in Baltimore for 72 hours. And we knew we were not anti-violence experts, but we knew that stress causes violence, that me being stressed, getting upset, then being mad, then being angry leads to violent acts. And so we thought about what at Out for Justice we were already doing to decrease the stress. And what that meant was that we were engaging in expungement opportunities, helping our communities support with civil law, helping our mothers protect their children through advocating against CPS system and the social service system, and helping our people with healing practices and therapy opportunities. And so this idea was really birthed back in 2017 with myself and Karen York, where we decided to bring the actual services and supports that people had the expertise to do, but that they were not bringing it during times where people were under the most stress, which was at night. And so we decided that everything that people can do in the day, every service that you can access in the day, we wanted to bring that in the night, Donnie, Miss Gwen, and Natasha. And so that's what we proceeded to do. And that has been successful over the last several years. This is our 6th annual all-night community resource clinic. And we will be having a variety of supports. We will be recreating a therapist office, and people will be able to come in and sit down on a sofa around some plants and an oriental rug and talk with a health and human service practitioner. They will be able to, of course, get all the legal supports that they need. They'll be able to get acupuncture. They'll be able to get their nails done and their hair done on the spot. They will be able to anything they need, right? If you need help filling out an application for a legal service, or you need help learning how to advocate to your elected official, we will be there helping you draft that email. If you need a resume, you can leave at 2 a.m. on the spot. So it's not the traditional resource fair where you pick up a piece of paper and then you go and contact the person later. We are asking our vendors to provide the service on the spot. At around 2 a.m., we're going to have a Black female chef who's going to come and provide omelets and chicken and waffles. And we're just going to spoil and love on our Black people for these hours from 4 p.m. to 4 a.m. And we know that it will reduce some violence in that neighborhood. We have studies to show what violence looked like 2 weeks prior to our event. And we'll be revealing what the violence was during our event to show the decrease. And I hope you all come out. I hope Donnie could he can go live. It's on November the 10th. So November the 10th is a Friday at 4 p.m. and it stops early Saturday morning at 4 a.m. We're not asking that every vendor got to stay the full, like 12 hours or so. No, you can do between 3 and 5 hours. We're going to have youth groups performing. We're hiring youth groups to perform. We're going to have our amazing Baltimore-owned poet, Breon, from Leaders of a Beautiful Struggle, coming to drop them jewels on us. We're going to have young people modeling. We're going to have our one of Baltimore's finest, Chenga. He's bringing his band to close us out throughout the night, playing all kinds of instruments, the trumpet, the flute, the drum, to really ease the atmosphere from around 10 to 2 a.m. And so the best and brightest of Baltimore are going to be there. The best and brightest of Maryland. The best and brightest of Maryland will be there, providing Maryland Justice Project will be there with their computer training and their resumes as they've done in prior years. Our folks at Life After the Release are going to be on a panel discussion talking about the importance of participatory defense. And so we come one, come all, right? It is specific though to the Monument Street area.
Let me jump in for a second because
wait a minute, I have a question.
No.
I want to come to this event.
Natasha, calm down.
It said Natasha White host. Did you know that?
Well, not on this show. You
on this show it does.
No.
Oh yeah, it do say host. It do say host up there.
That's because she wrote it up there. This is the Donnie Glover show.
I didn't write nothing. It's on there from my segment. Every time I log into StreamYard, this is what
I want to know where the damn Safe Streets, what's going on with Safe Streets and the raids and all of this money that Safe Streets getting. What's going on? And you over there in East Baltimore, did you know they were raiding, FBI was raiding Bel Air Edison? Because you're talking about money for returning citizens.
How would she know that, Donnie?
Well, I'm just saying, you know what Hogan did. That's all the way in Annapolis. Do we know what they're doing here in Baltimore? And are y'all concerned about
I know what
Safe Streets?
Oh, you asking me?
Are you concerned about Safe Streets? Yes.
I am concerned about any organization that's led by formerly incarcerated people and include formerly incarcerated people that is targeted by federal investigation. Yes, I'm concerned. Did I know what the feds were doing? That's a foolish question because, of course, I don't know what the feds are doing, right, in our city. Do I know that the federal government across this great nation is targeting nonprofit organizations, is targeting Black-led movement spaces, is wanting to find ways to discredit the work that has been happening over the last decade or more. They did it to our own civil rights leaders. What makes us think we're any different? What I do know is that
you're a civil rights leader. Let me tell you that.
let me tell you something. I'm not saying anything about safe streets and the civil rights thing. What I'm saying is when our former mayor decided to remove safe streets from the health department, there was the problem. If safe streets would have stayed, that was Catherine Pugh. When she decided to move safe streets from under the health department and keeping it a health crisis, that violence was a health crisis in our city. The minute she brought it over to be managed by the city and Muncie, there began the problem. So I will talk about the root cause of the problem. And the root cause of the problem is that the health department was doing a great job managing safe streets and coming at violence from a health care issue and a healthcare crisis. And it turned to a money movement, and it turned to who was going to get the contract, if it's going to be LifeBridge or it was going to be Catholic Charities. And so there lies the problem. I don't know what's going on with safe streets. No. I do know that there's individual men in safe streets that are doing great work, right? That are trying their best to serve community. But at the end of the day, any money that's being managed when it comes to safe streets, there are organizations that the mayor allocates that money to, and then they determine how it's distributed.
Okay.
I don't know anything about, I'm only in community with formerly incarcerated people who don't want to be in a criminal thought anymore, who want to turn their lives around, who wake up every day trying to be better than they was yesterday. That's who I'm in community with. And if whoever was indicted decides that he wants to do something, and we cannot deem him guilty just because the feds raided him. And in America, it says that you are innocent until proven guilty. And so are we going to assume he's guilty because the paper said it, because the Sun put it out there, because the Doni Glover show Saturday was rated? Or are we going to give that gentleman due process under the law? And so I will wait until,
now you just threw me under the bus. I just raised the question because I hear, like everybody else, the news talking about safe streets and the money going into it. And living in Sandtown, 3 blocks from a safe streets office, yeah, you got to wonder, like, well, what do you do?
I mean, I think people be expecting them to be in their offices, and the whole model is be out in the street.
Sandtown,
so
3 blocks from the office.
We got Sandtown, you got Pennsylvania Avenue, you got all that. People expecting the safe street staff to be in the office when the whole model of the program is to be out in community. So when y'all say ain't nobody never in there,
I live in the community. I live in the community.
Do they be in their office?
Well, I'm busy doing my work.
So you don't even know what's going on with your own safe street office then?
Nicole, you're not going to insult me on my own show.
I'm asking. I'm not trying to insult you. I'm challenging what you know about safe street.
Listen, I live 3 blocks from it.
Okay.
I do the events at the Triangle, which is Pennsylvania and Fremont, from time to time. Also see them from time to time on the corner of Lawrence and Cary.
Yeah.
To the question of what do they do with the money? I don't know.
Oh, well, I know at least over there off of Pennsylvania Avenue, Wayne Bruton and them, they're always having stuff going on at Drill Park. They always giving out.
We do have a community group, the Sandtown Winchester Collective, which includes the Sandtown Winchester Community Association and Showdown for Sandtown. Showdown for Sandtown has engaged in some activities with the safe streets, but they do it no longer. So you'd have to maybe come to one of our community meetings to get the inside scoop on that. But I'm just raising the question, what do they do? Because living in Santerre, yeah,
I don't know, because they're not even at the east.
I don't
like
know
the Safe Street, the Safe Street office that's closer to me. I don't have a lot of relationships with. I have relationships with the Cherry Hill crew, with Cord, and some of those like stand-up guys, right? And so it's upsetting.
We know there's listen, I know there are some good people. As a matter of fact, my first encounter with Safe Streets was about 13 years ago when Stacy Smith ran the Safe Streets down on Baltimore and Carrollton. And in terms of defending a community advocate, the Baltimore City Police, the Baltimore City Health Department threw Stacy, a Black woman, straight under the bus. At the same time, James Bond from Living Classrooms was getting millions of dollars with a rated program. So I'm very familiar with the racial inequity on the reporting of Safe Streets. When it's Black run, there tends to be certain level of scrutiny. When the white boys are running it, just like the weed. They got a dispensary right there in Cathedral Street. You're selling weed all day long, yet Black people buying it, but Black people can't sell it. So I just want you to understand, historically, over the past 29 years, I have been an advocate for our people. And I just raised the question because if you get rated, that's not a good sign.
Yeah, well, for me,
I do want to say one thing.
Can I change the subject a little bit?
Well, I was coming to you, so yeah.
So, okay, thank you. Okay, am I ready now?
The Donnie Glover show is lit.
Okay. The Donnie Glover show is always lit because Donnie is that kind of dramatic, thought-provoking host.
I do agree with that. So I do agree. Somebody getting that money from Safe Streets, and it ain't Safe Streets. That's what I think.
Okay. Well, listen.
Come on, Ms.
Let's
Gwen.
talk about. I want to talk about something that Nicole, you and I both attended last week, and that was the Maryland Equitable Justice Collaborative. I don't know if you all heard of it. Nicole heard of it because she's on the collaborative. It's a joint venture, Donnie. We got to talk about it. It's a joint venture, something new, historical venture that hopefully, prayerfully, will lead to some new innovative work. It's being done by the Maryland Attorney General Brown and the Office of the Public Defender. It's going to be a historical partnership between the prosecutor and the defense. Come on now, if we don't get on board and make this work, because this could be the avenue that we really need to make some changes when we have both officers, the people who put us in and the people who are supposed to help us get out. Those two officers are now collaborating and bringing us. Nicole was there. I was there. People from all avenues of community service, with community advocacy was there. It was a press release. It was held at Bowie State. Bowie State is in collaboration with this group. And what they're going to do is look at new recommendations of how to end mass incarceration of Black people.
Can I give a suggestion on that? Can I give a suggestion on that?
Yes, I'm gonna give you a suggestion.
No, I said, can I give you
November 6th, there will be a public meeting. There will be a public meeting November 6th at the Reginald F. Lewis Museum so that the communities in Baltimore can put in their voice.
Did you send us a flyer? Did you send us a flyer?
I'm not that computer student to do it, but Nicole, you have the flyer?
So this is my question. Well, anyway. This is my question. As somebody that
I'll send it to you.
This is an issue that I'm having right now. As somebody new to Maryland, I don't live in Maryland. However, as I represent the Maryland State Campaign for Solitary Confinement, right?
Well, that sounds weird. How you gonna represent us and you not here?
Because I know how to shut it down. That's
because
why.
you talk to people. Because you talk to people like us.
I don't want to go back and forth like we've been doing all morning. I got a serious question for you ladies because we're all in the same arena, and I know you both. I need for when there are events like that for me to be privy to it so I can attend. I'm trying to learn about the state that I actually advocate in. Now, yeah, the reason I'm in Maryland is because I come from 2 winning states on shutting down solitary confinement. So this is what I do. It doesn't take long to figure out what needs to happen in a state when this is the type of torture you've been fighting nationally. That's why I'm in Maryland. But as my sisters in this fight, you can't tell me on November 1st that there's an event on November 6th when you got my phone number and you could have told me that last week. Nicole, please send me the information for the overnight joint. I will be there.
What I can say to you, Natasha, is a way to, because I mean, as you know, with grassroots orgs, we don't have the levels of capacity that other orgs got to do all of this calling and whatever. And I do agree, as your sisters, there's some levels of obligation, right, to keep you in the loop. One of the things you could do. One of the things, because sometimes I'm gonna be real with you. I find out things too at last minute, right? But because I'm here, I can send somebody or whatever, right? And not that the event was last minute. It's just that when it trickled down to the ground, we got it late. But what I will say is one good solution to that is joining people's newsletters, right? So you go to Out for Justice website, you can go right now, get on our newsletter. Anything that we share out, you will immediately get it, right? Whatever other organizations you're interested in, even state agencies, Natasha, join the newsletter for that agency. The state's attorney's office has an ongoing newsletter. The Baltimore Mayor's office
has a newsletter too. Since we plugging all these other people on my show.
I'm just saying, she should already know it. She should already know it.
Well, she is new. She from New York. You know, she ain't know.
She's not that new. She's not that new here. She's been around for a little bit, at least a year. She's been.
I'm talking about the events that these young ladies have been.
No, but Natasha, even statewide, right? You working on statewide, so you should be on the Howard County City's office newsletter, right? You should be on the PG County PG Changemakers newsletter. You should be on the Progressive Maryland newsletter, and that way will help you decipher where you want to go, where you find that your time is best served.
So
but definitely for OFJ, Nicole, get on our newsletter and you'll find out everything. And I'll make sure,
Nicole,
you know, the more and more you gotta, you know, we got a lot going on as leaders in this space. We're
okay. Nicole, no, hold up, Natasha, hold up. Nicole, on your website, where do you sign up for the newsletter?
So you go to Get Involved, go to the Get Involved tab.
I'm on Get Involved.
Okay, if you scroll down, you should scroll down to the bottom of that page just to say something about newsletter or membership.
Want to learn more? Click on the links below. You might, maybe I'm slow. I don't see it.
Yeah, you might be slow.
Or it might not be there.
Oh, signing on to the newsletter is there.
Okay. Wait.
Maybe I didn't take you to the right tab. Hold on, I'm pulling it up now.
But you can sign up for the Be More News newsletter, and we will put your announcements on out there to our audience, and that's bemorenews.com. Natasha, your point is taken. Let me just say to all three of you, thank you so much for the work that you do on a daily basis. As you well know, America has 5% of the world's population, but America has 25% of the world's inmates. Black men comprise some 40% of the people in prison, and Black women are the fastest growing demographic. So to have you three queens, you know, we can differ about some of the details, but we are all on the same page. I've been working with Natasha's and Gwen's mentor, if you will, Mr. Victor Pate, going back to 2012, 2013. And we celebrate a lot of the people who are returned to New York City from places like Rikers Island, where Mr. Pate talks about his experiences with solitary confinement, and people who are doing wonderful things, including one young man, Natasha, who hired 200 employees. He came home, he built the company to the extent that he had 200 employees. So we know what our people can do. And I'm very grateful for all of you being in my life and grateful for you being my friends. And we're going to buy Nicole a battery as soon as the show is over.
What kind of battery does Nicole need? Because Nicole be lit. I know she don't need no battery.
You need a smoke detector battery, lady. Can't you hear?
I didn't know what he was talking about. You know, Donnie, listen. You sent me an email this morning. I didn't even know that I was on the show today. Okay? I'm getting ready to go to a rally. They have
What rally? What rally are you going to?
Let me tell you, they have stopped.
Right here, if you go in the search box and type in newsletter.
Okay.
Go in the search box and just type in newsletter. And you'll see OFJ newsletter. Subscribe to our newsletter. You see that, Donnie?
It said Black Mama Bailout.
No. Go to the website. You see at the top where it says search, not your search bar, our search bar. You see where it says search.
Newsletter, Out for Justice. I clicked it. Oh, got you. Okay. That's how we help each other. If I didn't know, I had no problem asking.
Yeah, type in your email address, and you immediately go to our newsletter and start getting updates. Go ahead, Miss Gwen. Miss Gwen, we can't hear you. Miss Gwen, we can't hear you. Turn your mute button off.
You muted yourself.
Yeah, I really want to say something about a new thing that's getting ready to happen. It's going to be a press release soon, Nicole. You're going to hear about it. We're coming back on your show, Donnie, to announce a new community organization, National Action Network, Baltimore Community Chapter.
Why is there a new chapter? I thought there was already a chapter.
Well, the old chapter got shut down. So
wasn't Larry Young a part of that or something?
Yes, he was. But I want to talk about the new chapter that's going to go and what's going to happen.
Did Larry mess up something? Larry kicked over the bucket of milk, didn't he?
I don't have anything. I don't know that much about Mr. Brown. I came on as a result of me going to New York.
Larry Young, we used to talk all of this National Action Network, and now I'm getting word that he shut down the Baltimore chapter because he couldn't be in charge. Is that true? That's a damn shame. He too old to be playing games like that. He's a grown man.
Donnie.
We call the truth on this show. That's a damn shame.
You're not going to stop me from talking, Donnie. I want to talk about the new Baltimore Community Chapter and what the new chapter is going to be doing.
Is Larry Young a part of it?
No, sir. The lady's name is Miss Marion Summers.
Oh, hi, Miss Marion Summers.
Yes.
Yeah, so, I think that gentleman, Anthony, is right.
You're going to hear about this press release soon. And what we're going to be doing is a lot of community organizing. We're going to go in and talk what Nicole was talking about. Make sure that our communities know what the budget is. Go in our communities and make sure our communities know about the legislative process. Make sure our seniors, our young people are aware of their voting rights and where they can vote, what the issues they need to be aware of to make the right decision on who to vote for.
Ms. Gwen, are you leading up that chapter or something like that?
No, I'm not leading up the chapter, but I'm going to lead up a
committee.
I'm going to lead up a committee on criminal justice that I'm going to ask you to come on board, Nicole, of course.
I've already had my own committees that you could be participating in. I can't Out for Justice. We've been here for 10 years and we have 4 committees that we hope for.
You know that I participate, and you know I participate.
I can't go join nobody else committee when we got our own. We got our own homegrown research committee, outreach committee. So I would hope that you could join an Out for Justice committee, because I don't have the capacity to invest in a new group's committee.
We'll be joining with your committees. We'll be joining with your committees.
Yeah, you can lead a committee over here, Ms. Gwen.
No, we're not trying to lead a committee. I'm trying to be involved in the committees, like you said. The
you could do that. You could do that. I look forward to Doni, help Ms. Gwen go to the Out for Justice website and sign up to be on one of our committees, because this is the homegrown organization. This is the org that is led by formerly incarcerated people. And we make sure that whatever formerly incarcerated people need, we're speaking up for and we're supporting it. So we got committees.
Okay. Let me pick the show back.
I would never. This is not a group that's going to go against that at all. This is the group that will be joining you.
Yeah.
Okay. I will put you on mute. All right. Natasha, you said you had an announcement you wanted to make. You said, why are you here? You're here because this is the returning citizens. We're talking about returning citizens issues. That's why you're here. You're here because I need you here. And
why?
I'm sure because the Holy Spirit told me to call you and have you on this show. That's why.
Natasha.
What? Doni has me confused right now. I didn't know what was going on. But I said that. Actually, I texted him that, but since he said it, yeah, because if I don't know what's going on. This is you put me in this chat because it's a return. Both of these ladies I have contact with outside of this, right? I have a rally that I have to go to because they stopped 4,300 people from voting due to minor probation violations.
Oh wow, where at, Natasha?
In Virginia, baby. That's why I didn't say why am I here being facetious. I was just trying to figure it out because I'm supposed to be on my way somewhere else, but I am on the BlackUSA.News network, and both of these ladies are dear to me and your movements, so I chimed in. But if we all talking at the same time and I can't get the information I need, then why am I here?
All right, well, now you have the floor.
In Virginia, right now, they have stopped 4,300 returning citizens from voting because of probation violations, which has nothing to do with taking away my voters' rights, right? So I'm headed to a rally downtown thrown by No Left Turns. And that was my question to him. That's not what I wanted to say on screen with everybody. I try, we're all,
girl, you gotta learn Doni. He will put your stuff right out there real quick.
I know, but I'm used to
threw me under the bus 17 times before I even got to speak.
With Doni, on sidebar. You know what I'm saying? But I am happy that I was able to get some information from you two ladies. Gwen works with me often. Right now, I just became a part of the Maryland movement in January. However, I joined the last session at the very end, and the legislative liaison that we had when she left IAHR, she left no information. So I'm learning from scratch.
Are you kidding me? You were not transitioned.
No.
Oh, I'm gonna have a conversation with her about that. That's not cool.
Listen, we already know that, and we know why. It is no big deal because we didn't get anywhere anyway. The bill needed to be rewritten, and which it has been. This year we coming back. But I look to you
again.
No, she's no longer a part of IHR.
And this is the person that we talked about offline.
Yeah. So
that I told you wasn't no damn good.
Yeah, well, I know that anyway. However, everybody deserves a fair shot, right? I can't kick nobody out of an organization that was there before I got there.
Well, that's a good point.
I could just pick up the paces and do what I do, right? I'm not a legislative liaison. Do I know how to legislatively advocate? Yes, I do. I'm a grassroots builder. However, I am one in 2 states. So I'm a one-man campaign for 2 different states, right?
Don't worry about that, girl. I've been a one-man show for a lot of years.
Right.
Why do women say that? Why do women say one-man show when you're a woman? It's a one-woman show.
So I look to
We're talking about the humanity man, not just the
This is what I can't do. I can't. I look to Gwen and Nicole for guidance. I have signed up for your newsletter.
Okay.
And I will be reaching out. Nicole, please send me
Sure.
that information so that I can get.
Did you text me, Natasha?
No, I don't have your number direct.
Yes, you do. Me and you talked.
Yeah, but I don't have your number direct. I don't believe. Let me see.
What's your number, Nicole?
I'll send it to you, Nicole.
443.
Wait. 443.
600.
600.
0920.
Yeah, I don't have it direct because we spoke on Zoom.
Oh, right.
I'm calling your phone right now.
Well, this is one productive thing that came out of today's show. Let me ask you this, Natasha. What is the damn Pac-Man machine for?
People's kids who come here because I can't do it. They can't take over my TV. You need something to play with. There it goes.
Yeah. I would love to work with you on that voting work because, Natasha, we're leading in Maryland in terms of progress on voting rights. And I know you know kind of some of the work we've been doing at OFJ in Maryland Justice Project and Life After Release. We are the Directly Impacted Voting Coalition, working with ACLU and Common Cause. And we have been relentlessly pushing to ensure that the policies are changed, right? We could do a lot of yah, and talking, but we ain't getting knee deep into the policy and the law and proposing not just legislative recommendations, but internal agency regulations. Like, we got to do that work for them because them folks, they not going to do the work. So we got to be the ones on them emails saying, hey, I see that your regulations say this. That needs to be changed according to the law. Hey, local jail, I see that send me your process for voting. Oh, actually, you're supposed to be doing it this way. So we get knee deep into the technical background part of the work that a lot of people don't want to do. That's that brain work. That's that writing work, right?
Let me get you ladies, Nicole, let me get you ladies input on this one topic. Right now, one topic that is regularly covered in the mainstream news is the high number of stolen cars and the young people responsible for it. And quite often, it seems let me finish my question. The State Senator Jill Carter is thrown under the bus for standing up for these young people, where there are others who think there should be, including Black people, Democrat and Republican, who think these young people should be held accountable. So I want to know, when a 13-year-old is taking somebody's car and he's got like 5 times of doing it this year, what should be done with that young person?
Restorative practice.
Before he got into that situation, there's some things that should have been done, and we need to look at why they're continuing to be done by these young people. First of all, our schools are not educating them. Maryland has one of the lowest proficiencies in reading and math for our young people. So therefore, they're dropping out of school at 12 and 13 and 14 years old, hanging out on the corners, nowhere to go. We don't have rec centers for them. Yeah. We don't have parental classes.
You gotta look at the underlying condition.
You
gotta look at the underlying conditions have to be dealt with,
Yeah, and that's what we're talking about, that money, that budget, learning about what you need in your community, how to get that community center open back up. That's the kind of thing.
Money, that budget,
how to provide those services so that our kids don't continue to be lost, don't continue to feel that they don't have anywhere to go, don't continue to feel that the only place they can do is stand on the corner and look at
and this is not condoning.
I want one of them.
And for me, Donnie, this is not condoning the behavior, but I'm glad nobody gave up on little Nicole that was 15 still in the car. Because I was those kids.
Me too.
I was hungry to drive. I was my gas foot was heavy, and somebody, because we ain't talking like they talking about like these carjackings, but we not talking about how residents are leaving their goddamn keys in their cars, right? We not talking about residents that leaving their doors unlocked, like myself. I have left my doors unlocked.
A little boy did a carjacking last night and he got killed last night.
And I'm sorry about that. But you know, I talked about
I
this at
went to
I am.
I went to a sentencing Monday of a 17-year-old who got sentenced Monday for armed carjacking in Howard County. I was there. He got sentenced, even though that was his first time being in trouble, never been in trouble before. He got the minimum sentence that he could get. Thank God for that. But the recommendation was that he get put in juvenile services. But no, because of the climate now on
Right, right.
carjacking, because it's so prevalent by our young people, he got slammed. You
If
know,
I can
we
say
got to
this, I was
also think
carjacked
about,
before.
yeah.
Miss Gwen, if I could tell a little
And
bit
it's a
about
terrible thing. It's a terrible thing. It's a
you
fear that
can't
puts
hear.
in you. It's a fear that goes in you, Nicole, that cannot be erased. That fear that somebody just gonna take you. You step out your car, they just push you down, or
No,
they
no,
knock
no,
you
no,
down.
no,
They hurt
no.
you.
Let
That
me
fear
explain
can't
to
be
you real
taken away
quick.
from
Let
you.
me explain
You
the
can't
levels of
underestimate that fear that
carjacking.
you feel.
Miss Gwen, can you hear?
Yes.
Can
She's
you hear?
upset. If you were on
Uh,
screen, you could see that.
oh, so there's different levels to carjacking. There's the one that you actually physically move somebody out the way and take their car. Then there's I left my keys in the car when I went to go get gas and somebody took it. And we're not and then we're not making those distinctions. Two, I was carjacked too. And you know what ended in that carjacking? That carjacking ended in me engaging in restorative practices with three teens, where I ended up finding out that they was homeless, that they was living in an abandoned house, that they was wards of the state, that the juvenile justice system had not even checked on them in
Thank
almost
you.
4 months, right?
Yeah.
It ended in them kids becoming one of my members and coming to my office to get food and shelter. That's what that. So I had to. It was hard. The little boy punched the piss out of me, right? When I went back and found that he, when because I was looking for my car. He took my car, and I went to go look for it. And I came up on them kids, and I asked them, "Why y'all doing this?
You ain't
Y'all
punching back
don't
in
know
his
me,
face.
but I'm
Did
here
you
to
punch
help
him back
y'all."
in his face?
Yeah, huh?
Damn right you did. You from
You
Baltimore.
goddamn right. I did. I hit him back.
You
I hit him back.
know
Damn right hitting my
what?
black woman.
Listen, everyone.
Lost
Yeah,
his
but
damn mind.
he broke down and he told me he was sorry. He said, "Oh my
I bet
God,
he was.
I promised my granddad I would never hit a girl again."
Duh.
So I'm not. We not. I don't think we're saying that
Great job.
people
Great
don't
job, Cole.
deserve.
Nicole. Great job. I'm glad you survived it.
Okay, y'all. I have to go. I have to manage this all night
Oh,
event.
black women a trip. Bye.
I'm sorry. I have to go.
Bye.
Natasha, call me, please.
She gone.
I'll call you also, Nicole.
All right, Miss Gwen. Lord
So this
God, that
all
was a
right.
cup of coffee.
What?
Jeez.
Look, let me tell you something. You got to have us on again because we got some
Oh,
stuff
no.
to talk about.
I need some
Nicole, yeah,
coffee.
you got to. I'm telling you, listen. You had two of the most powerful women in the movement right now.
You are most powerful.
No. Listen, I am learning from these ladies.
Yes.
These ladies are like mentors to me. Nicole has
You
been there.
mentoring them too.
Okay, well, maybe so in some way. But listen, Nicole, I give it to her. This
I give
lady
it to you. You
knows
met Victor Pate and you've been rolling
she
ever
knows
since.
about what she's talking about. Donnie, please. She knows about what she's talking about. Natasha knows what she's talking about. Natasha has worked in 2 different states and successfully gotten rid of solitary confinement. We need her presence in our state, and I'm glad to see her here. And yes, we are going to get her more involved with what's actually happening on a day-to-day basis, so that, like she's down at that rally, she'll come up here and be hopefully on November 6th and have some input into.
Am I going to see you at my event anniversary, December the 9th?
Yes, I already got it on the calendar. Yes, it's on the calendar.
This is the only fundraiser we do throughout the year. This is the annual event. This is the shindig.
I will be there. Okay, we will
tell
be
all
there.
your friends.
But
Tell
like I
them
said,
bring the checks with them. Just like we put money on all these other places, this is a chance to support Black media. And I think next year you need your own show. And you're really learning the computer. You know, Miss Gwen, I've watched you. I see you. Your computer skills getting strong.
I'm trying. And that's thanks to a class that I took at Maryland Justice Project. The other organization, the sister organization too, the ones that Nicole just talked about, those three organizations, Maryland Justice Project, Out for Justice in PG County, and all over the state, really. But
because you got violated because of the damn computer.
Yeah, well, that that was a story. What, 2 years ago now? Guess what?
You swinging. I mean,
guess what? The place that violated me, the place that the halfway house that violated me, that sent me back to prison because they couldn't contact me while I was in that computer class. Guess who took a resource fair, participated in a resource fair at that halfway house a couple of months ago? Phew.
You ain't tell me that.
Yes, I was able to go in there and say, ha ha ha, ha ha ha. You know I act fool. Ha ha ha. I'm here. I'm back. And no handcuffs. I ain't got to report to you, and I'm bringing you some help. I brought some information to him.
Why'd you do that, Miss Gwen?
Because that's what you got to do. You got to go back to where the people that you left behind. There are guys and men in that facility who needed the resources. I'm working part-time with Pratt Library and doing a reentry program. Part of their reentry program called Encore is going into the prisons and bringing people out and giving them resources and jobs. There's a fair November the 15th at Pratt Library downtown, a resource fair for former incarcerated people, for people who just coming home, for family members to get the resources. There are going to be all kinds of resources there at Pratt Library all day long, November 15th.
Great job, Miss Gwen. I'm proud of you, sis.
Listen, there's so much going
and you know
on.
What?
People you're all over the place. You're all over the place. But guess what? It's so much going on that we got to come on shows like yours because the people are.
We got to put a plug in, Miss Gwen, for Mr. Rudy Williams, because I met you through Mr. Rudy, and so thank you, Mr. Rudy, for the introduction. And I've since met your sons. I've since been welcomed into your family as you are welcome into ours. So, any final thoughts before we get up out of here?
Yes. Thanks to Mr. Rudy Williams, who's continuing to be out there helping, advocating, doing his thing, writing. He's continuing to write. So look forward to some new things coming from Mr. Rudy Williams soon. But also look forward to the press release that'll be coming out within the next couple of days on your show, Mr. Glover.
Whatever you need, Miss Gwen. You know I'm here for you. But we got to get you. I want you to come to Sandtown to one of our community meetings, and we gotta have, sit down and make sure that you have everything you need as this new year comes about, 2024. Like, we're gonna get you a green screen. I think we're gonna have to get you a green screen. You ready for a green screen?
What is a green screen? I don't even know.
That's what allows me to put this graphic behind me. It's literally a green sheet.
Oh, okay.
And you put it behind you.
Better than what's behind me. All right, I go.
But look, I remember when you started, and we're making progress.
Okay.
But
yes, we are.
You ought to be commended for caring about other people. I'm proud of you.
I thank you. And like I say, I couldn't do it without people like Out for Justice, Maryland Justice Project, Life After Release.
Maryland incarcerates at one of the highest rates in the country.
Yes, we know. And guess what? We incarcerate, but guess what? We have some of the least resources, inside or out.
Well, let me tell you, when I was 15, there was a man named Mr. Eddie, and he ran Justice Resources. He just passed. Eddie, I want to say Eddie Harrison. And it was a program that liked me. It was the first charge. And it was a program that got me back on track.
And those are the kind of programs we're beginning to see come back again. Programs that are bringing these young kids back in line with their values, back in line with our Black values. They're programs that we have to initiate. We got to get back into our communities and get these kids off the corner and back in the rec centers, back into the libraries. That's why the library has become so inclusive now, trying to bring people back into the system. Make sure that they're one of the most viable places in the community right now is the library. So where else should programs be that the community can go and see? At the
Reverend
library.
Letty Carr said hello. Do you know Reverend Letty
Yes,
Carr?
yes.
Who is
Thank
she?
you. Reverend Letty Carr is the former chaplain, great lady, first lady of Maryland Maryland Correctional Institution for Women. She was our chaplain there. She was a
Do you think she would come on and say a prayer?
Yes, she will. Yes. Can you come? Can you call? Can she call in?
I'm gonna put this link right here, Miss Letty, Reverend Letty.
She has a show that you need. She has a podcast of her own. Please.
Does she?
Yes, she needs to come on and talk
Come
about
on,
what
Reverend
she does.
Letty. Take us home with prayer, because if we ever needed the Lord before, we sure do need him now. That was a song, Miss Gwen.
Yeah.
Take Six used to sing it. Oh, if you ever needed.
Did you put a number for her to call in?
I sent her the link. I posted the link up there, and maybe she'll see it. Reverend Letty Carr. Where's her church?
First Baptist Church of Glen Arden.
Oh, down in gorgeous Prince George. That's that big church. I know that big church. All the politicians go there.
Yeah,
one
of the biggest churches in the state of Maryland. Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
And they do so
Lord
much
have
community.
mercy.
They were one of the most active churches down at Jessup. Yeah, we had some good churches coming down there.
Now the Jessup has a, I don't know this.
Maryland Correctional Institution for Women. Yes, it's the only prison in the state of Maryland for women. Women from all over the state, if they get a year and 1 day or more, that's sentence, then that's where they go. So we have people from all over the state, not just Baltimore City, all over. And Reverend Carr was our chaplain. She brought in progressive programs for us. She brought in programs like Kairos, and I can't even. Oh God.
That's all right. I'd love to hear about people that help
women. Yeah, all kinds of programs. Yeah, but she brought in progressive programs, spiritual programs that uplifted us.
Are you ready for your own show, Miss Gwen?
No, I'm not ready for my own show. It's too much to talk about what's going on. Listen, Nicole is doing a lot. I'm ready to make sure that all these programs that are out there get connected together so that we can all work together. We all filtered here and there and everywhere. All I want to do is see. I love collaboration. That's why I'm so excited about
December
this.
the 9th. I want you to be here. You collaborate that. December 9th. Whatever you do, don't miss that date. And bring Mr. Rudy. You're both on my guest list. But we take checks, Cash App, and all of that too. This is our annual fundraiser. So we can pay for this operation. You know, we got shows in other parts of the country. Oakland, New York. Yeah. But we're going to make it anyway. But this is a chance for the community to give back. Because they always saying, Donnie, can I come on your show? I want a Black Wall Street Award. Can you come cover this? They don't ever say, I got some gas money if you can get up here.
Okay, I'm going to push everybody. Come on. We got to support Donnie because he allows us to come on here and talk about the issues that we need to talk about. So come on, let's come out and support him.
December the 9th. Yeah. What's your favorite food? What's your favorite dish? I'll make sure they got it there for you. What do you like? What's your favorite dish?
Crab cakes.
We'll have them. I'll have a plate of crab cakes for my special supporters.
I have a great place. I know a great place that sells crab cakes. It's on Ricestown Road. It's called Goldie's Seafood on Ricestown Road, 60 something Ricestown Road. It's called Goldie's Seafood. It's named after his mother. It's owned by a guy named Randy. It's named after his mother's name, whose name was Goldie.
Is it Black owned?
Black owned. Best crab cakes in the state of Maryland, bar none.
Bar Goldie. None. I'm going there today. I'm going to find Goldie.
Goldie's Seafood on Ricestown Road. Yes.
And Goldie might be getting some advertisement on this screen if that crab cake that real.
And I'm telling you, I've been downtown, Harbor East, Canton,
Goldie's.
Timonium.
Okay, let me ask you this. Can you make a crab cake?
Yes, I can.
Yes. I like the way you say that.
Yes, I can. You know why? My grandma had a restaurant on the corner of Caroline and Lombard Street. Yes, she did back in the day.
What was the name of this restaurant?
I don't even know the name of it. Was my grandma's
Carolina
restaurant.
Lombard, down the street from Dunbar.
No, right where the school is now, on that corner.
Okay,
Carolina and Lombard.
Fairmount Hill.
Yes, right on that corner, Carolina and Lombard. My grandma had a restaurant. It was a soul food restaurant. And I used to go.
What was her name?
Murray Washington. I'm sorry. Yes, Murray Washington. Yes.
My grandma was Flossie. You better not forget her name.
I ain't forget my grandma's name. Because you know why? I'm a fifth generation. I had a grandma and a great grandma. My grandma's name was Nanny, and my great grandma's name was Murray Washington. So that's why because we call both of them grandma.
Well, they both are.
We call one Nanny, we call one grandma.
Shout out to my mom in heaven too. Mamas, grandmamas,
I'm
all
a
of the
fifth
people.
generation. Shout out to my mom, 96 years old, still living right there on Emerson Avenue right now. And yes.
Miss Gwen, we went way over time. We gotta get out of here.
We got to get out of here. Thank you, Donnie. Thank you for having me. And people, please come out November 6th, December 9th, and go to Goldie's for some seafood. I'm
going to Goldie's. How can people get in touch with you, Miss Gwen?
Gwen Levi at 1945@gmail.com. Yeah.
Gwen Levi 1945@gmail.com. I'm so proud of you. I'm very proud of you. Thank you.
I'm gonna be sending you some stuff that'll Skype pass after this show.
Okay.
I'll figure out how to do it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, world.